Shalom to you, like giving all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Hashem El Shai, Bahashem B'Chakodash, and giving double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone who well. Peace and salutation to the elect. Shemiyah Mafa is a Mappa from the Great Millstone, Plaintables Camp of Philadelphia, coming with another week lesson. Have it 144 on the likes right now. Birthday Yahweh Hashem El Shai, Bahashem B'Chakodash, Yahweh Ratazah. You know, the prophets of the hopefully elect, see, of course, the reward soon. And so, just going into this real quick, you have it. China claps back at Trump's tariffs and exposes the luxury brand scam. You've been lied to. Now, I mean, this is like something that obviously should have been known, okay? Like most of these people, many years ago, I'll just even say this. Many years ago, when you were younger, you used to be craving, to get the Nietzsche's and, the Fat Farm and the, back then we had like State Property, Rockaware, Sean John, and all these different brands and such, right? Jabos, all these different brands and such, which is just a brand, literally. Okay, you have the material and you have the brand, okay? And as it comes out, it's literally just that, okay? And you've just been basically tricked, okay, by the witchcrafts of America, because when many people just go to many great lengths just to get up the money to have these things, hey, they're being sourced from the same place, which is China. Okay, simple as that. Okay, no different than getting your stuff at Walmart. Okay, all of the stuff is being made in China. Maybe they might put a little bit more frills into the thing, but you're paying for things that cost cheap to produce, and it's just being, as it's going into, marked up. So, and as we know, Donald Trump, he's been boasting, putting, many increases on various goods via tariffs, taxing, these different goods that are coming into the country. Well, hey, you have it, China, which is one of the biggest trade companies, or trade, which they are a company too, but one of the biggest trade partners with America. They fighting back, and they fighting back with revealing the truth, because right now, in these last days, the truth is being revealed, and everything that's being that was been done in the darkness is coming to the light. All right, so real quick, this is going to be the book. Should be in the book of Luke. It's Luke chapter 8 and 17. It reads, it says, "For nothing is secret that shall not be made manifest, neither anything hid that shall not be known and come abroad." And it's coming abroad to America. Okay? So many of you people out there that, like I said, y'all thought that, this thing right here was made 100% in a certain country. Okay? Yeah, this is the finest of Italian, things. Hey, Open up that box. That box contains Chinese goods. All right, made in China. All right, I remember when the rapper Jin said, look, he said on Freestyle Fridays or something like that, look on the back of your fitted or something like that. It say made in China. And a lot of people try to hate on China, but all this stuff is made for cheap over there. Okay. Now all of the exposure on Babylon the Great is coming out, and hey, it's looking really, really, really silly for Esau Edom. Okay. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and 14. It says, for Yahweh B'Shem Yahshua shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Okay? So the Lord is bringing forth all these different various secret things. All right? These things that have been, you have it Ilam, which means concealed. Okay? To be a secret. Alright, well, look, listen, man, we're going to get everything made in China, and then we're going to ship it back over here, and then we're going to, put the label on it, and then we'll ship it to America and charge them a zillions of percentage on that, and we're going to get the money, okay? Me personally, I know from, being in the world and having various different sponsors and stuff like that. You had different companies over there in Indonesia with, hey, they see that you are an individual that have influence. That, of course, influence can seduce other individuals to buy the good or the product. And, hey, they'll even send you the stuff for free. And I'm like, well, hey, this is a $60 rash guard. You're gonna give to me for free, and a package of them. Well, hey, it's all about that money they're getting, and these companies getting this stuff for cheap. All right, and selling it on major profits. All right.
This birthing bag at Hermes Boutique will cost you 38,000 USD. But what is the real cost out of the factory? Today, I'm going to break it down in front of you, step by step. First thing first, Hermes only use the leathers from the 3 top-level suppliers. One is called Beauty from Italy. The second is Weinheim from Germany, and the third is us from France. One piece of Togo leather, the same leather as this one, will cost 450 USD. And one piece of the leather is only enough to make one Birkin, okay? The thread. And of course, for Hermes Birkin, the thread is also the best top level. It's called Fil Al Chinois from France. This is actually the Rolls Royce in the thread. For each bag, the cost is 25 USD. And then the hardware. See, this hardware is called 316 hardware. It's also known as the ocean stainless steel because it can withstand the erosion of seawater. It's the best stainless steel. For one piece of bag, the hardware will cost 150 USD. Edge oil. This edge oil is imported from Italy. It's called seal edge oil. For each bag, it will cost 50 USD.
And part of the music in the background, he's just breaking down how much all of the different raw materials themselves cost to piece together the bag and then be produced. Where they coming from, etc.
Interior lining, it used lambskin imported from France. Each bag, the cost will be 100 USD. And also inside, there is a zipper from Riri brand. The zipper for one bag is 10 USD. And then the cost of human resource. The French artisans is much more expensive than Chinese artisans. To finish one bag, the human resource cost will be 6 100 USD. Our package, this is not that expensive, it's 10 USD. So now to sum those up, the total cost will be 1,400 USD for one person out of factory. But why Hermes will charge you 38,000 USD for one bag? That's because more than 90% of the price is paid for its logo. But if you do not care about the logo, you just...
So you just paying for the logo. Okay, you paying for the brand. Okay? The materials themselves, okay, they may have, certain quality. But for what you're actually getting, all right, for your money, you know how many bags you can get with that if you do the math? Okay? Divide that up. Okay, that $13.95, divide that up.
Want the same quality, same material, you can just buy from us. Because for our bags, we use exactly the same material.
Right, you could just buy straight directly from Moab without the name on there, and you get the same stuff. Okay?
Same leather, same hardware, same badge oil. The only difference is one, we don't have the logo, so we don't have to pay so much amount of money just for that logo. And second, our human resource is much cheaper. This is
the Moabites, the servants, okay, they can easily piece that together for cheap. And they got the handcrafting skills and stuff. They got artisan skills over there. All right?
Why this bag from our factory only cost you 1,000 USD, but even better quality and craftsmanship.
And they saying they even boasting for a better quality. So, that's that right there. Okay. They got some more.
Research and development. For example, the world's first long-stable cotton gene sequencing product was completed here.
Then you got it like where it's going and it's being exposed that, a lot of the other countries are highly advanced with the different technology to produce these different things. All right, for the cheap and quick. All right.
And what's even better, the material and the craftsmanship are basically the same because they all come the same production line. See, this is why people come to China and looking for the OEM factory because they just can get the cheapest and best quality product from there and sell you. I don't know how much. Alright guys, if you want to know more about Lululemon or any other active wear brands, leave your message in the comment section. I'm Luna, your reliable sourcing partner. Who are the suppliers behind Sullivan, Timberland, New Balance, Adidas, Nike,
China.
Factory, one of the world's largest OEM sports shoe manufacturer. It is like a Foxconn in the shoemaking industry. During its heyday, it has over 100,000 employees in just one of its factories in Dongguan. What even surprised me is that it owns an independent brand called YY Sports. It's like a distributor for sports shoes like Nike and Adidas, same as like Foot Locker in America and JD Sports in England. Second, Huajian Group. It is one of the largest OEM manufacturer for leather shoes in China. On the other hand, Huajian mainly offer the OEM service towards those big brands like Gucci, Tory Burch, Coach, Calvin Klein, etc. Sounds crazy, right? Alright guys, this is Luna. Follow me for more China sourcing tips.
They will be blind and you thank them for it. That's the tragedy. That's the scam. That's why I'm saying this right now.
And that's all America is, nothing but a scam. Okay? Because y'all sitting there thinking that this is something, probably produced 100% somewhere else. And you're being misleaded. Are you just playing for somebody's name? That's it. Some Edomite somewhere name. Or it could be a Jake. Some of them, most of them desires, they could be Jake too. Some of them actually are alphabet people too. But that's what we're dealing with. Nahum chapter 3, it says in verse 16, it says, "Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven. The cankerworm spoileth and flieth away." Hey, in America have all of these different various sellers. Okay, because all of these other nations want to make money. Okay, and they'll do it for cheap. Okay, and they know what's been going on. Like, I sit there and think, I'm like, how come the cell phone shop, how come he can sell all these iPhones at this certain price here in America, but then, like I said, you go to the other countries and stuff, other countries be selling these different goods on profit. On top of that, they'll mark it up. You go to Jamaica, they'll mark up these different things like it's prison. And you have it. This stuff is just being made for cheap in these different countries. All right. Again, Nahum 3, man, a lot of these scriptures I'm going to keep bringing out. Nahum 3 and 4 says, because of the multitude of whoredoms of the well-favored harlot, which is America, the mistress of witchcraft that selleth the nations through her whoredoms. And that's due to philosophies. Okay? America's the best. And it's not but filled with lies. And families through her witchcrafts. Okay? And they use sorcery. Now you sitting there looking at a Gucci. You'll go. Like Jacob go. Like I said, I never, like I say, I'm not into the stuff that's corny. Everybody that all get into stuff like that, I'm like, look, that's just a brand. That don't even look cool to me. I'm not going to just wear that because all the other dudes do that. I'd rather have something that nobody else got. All right? Get a Moabite to design me something that somebody else don't got. Okay? What is the actual material? I had a Moabite one time ask me, he seen one of my hoodies, and he asked me, is that 100% wool? And I was like, no way, I wish. But that's what the real thing is, when having 100% wool and different fabrics that are natural. A lot of this stuff is diverse fabrics, and Jake is pumping it up. So
Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs home ship your job to China, not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to explore cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and taught you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, leave millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They borrowed.
What do you oligarchs? Top rich families, rolling elite. Okay, and it's all biblical prophecy, man. With Moab and all that. This is book 2nd Esdras 15. And it says, and thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, America's Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou make thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredoms, that they might please the glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredoms with thee. And like you said, you can see how Asia want to be like America, do the same thing, build it up, increase the infrastructure, allegedly better the citizens. But all of these countries are going to go down anyway, because they're going into slavery. Okay, they're going into complete servitude under the Hebrew Israelites in the future under Yahweh Shai. Okay. After, of course, this nuclear destruction, the nations will be in subjection. It says, thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. All of these great ideas. Hey, let's just, make a profit off of these ideas we got. We don't have to work our own citizens to produce goods. We'll get other nations to produce goods, and then we'll buy that on a cheap and sell for big, and we'll make all the profit. And all the other nations, such as China, as we're speaking about right now, they can profit off of it too. Therefore, thus saith the Lord. All right. It says, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses and with destruction and death. All right.
Or yachts, private jets, mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate market, dodge tax, and pour billions into endless wars.
Yeah, and they manipulate markets. What do you think all of these different pauses on the tariffs about? Manipulating markets. Okay? A lot of those people that, had the stocks go down and sold them for cheap, now they rise high. That's nothing but insider trading, and manipulating the markets.
And you get stagnant wages.
And you ain't getting paid more. Your boss don't care about you. Your job don't care about you. You're just staying at that same spot where you've been. And these Edomite elites are getting richer and richer and richer. Okay? Meanwhile, they're destroying the neighborhoods and the communities because all of the jobs are closing down. Because Babylon the Great itself is closing down. Okay? Because these goods, when they get here, what is happening to them? Since most of the people are becoming impoverished, and a lot of them people, they're losing their job, on the brink to lose their job, okay, on welfare, or seeking to get welfare. Most of these people are then going and stealing these things, all right, from these stores, and then these stores are still keeping their doors open as long as they can, taking out debt. But then now there's no more covering it. There's no more covering for Babylon. Okay? There's no healing for it. So now all your neighborhoods are becoming less and less, you would say, inhabitable for you people. Because, the neighbors that you live next to, they may have plots, okay? The stores that you once used to go to are no longer existing anymore. Okay, you got to venture out to a whole nother part of the city just to get your prescriptions filled, or just to get out of a food desert and get some good quality food. Which really the food is defiled anyway. And the prices are surging every day due to the inflation. the lack of this dollar buying power, okay, the more money put in circulation, all right, it's crippling people out here.
Healthcare cost, cheap dopamine, debt, and flagged wave probably made in China, well, they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs feed your lies. Well, they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back.
Yeah, so you see what he calling for, okay? Which is going to be Egyptian versus Egyptian, but you people, y'all going to end up seeing that y'all are not the salvation, okay? The patriots, the American patriots are not the salvation, okay, for the country. All right, you Constitution holders, you know, you were duped. The Lord is coming back to reset everything, all right? So, get the scripture. This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, which America has done, the kingdom, this rulership, is translated from one people to another. Remember, the earth has been given unto the hand of wicked. The Edomites are ruling the earth, so it's going to get translated. That power is going to be given back over to the Israelites. All right. So, in Moab, like I said, Moab got a lot of judgment to come for them, you know. So, you know, don't think that Moab is gonna escape. All right. Moab is gonna pay too. All right, which Moab is so-called Chinese. All right, so, you know, we can go into more, but you know, that's it for now. Shalom to you, like.